So, the most accessible form of music experience to all of us is listening. If you, I hope everybody has access to either recorded music that they own, or YouTube, or Spotify, or Pandora, or some form of streaming. So turn on that music once a day, twice a day, while you're doing other things. If you have other people that you're living with, you can have a dance party. You can sing along with it, and I really, really recommend singing along with music that you know. I'll talk about that more a little bit later, but make it an experience. So, well, there are two forms of experience. One is if you need some relaxation, if you're feeling stressed, turn on something soothing, maybe something slow, and especially if it's familiar, you know, and just spend a few minutes and just listen and enjoy it. And you can do that as a family too. Make it a family activity. We're going to relax a minute as a family. Tell me how you feel. Let's just take a few minutes and breathe to the music. Intentional breathing is really important, having it slow, deep breaths. So that's one thing. And then, as I mentioned earlier, turn it on and dance, get some physical activity going, sing along to it, make it fun. It's a great way to combat stress is to just have fun with it. So that's one thing. Now, if you play an instrument, I strongly encourage you to get that out, especially if it is something you can hold. If you play the piano, that's great because you're getting that tactile stimulation. If you play a violin or something, I happen to play the guitar, and this one is really great if you have a guitar at home, even if you don't know much about it. You're having this, you're using both hands for it, and it's tactile touch. When you play the strings, you're going to feel that vibration in your fingers, in your hands, and in your body. And that is, it's kind of like getting a hug. It's, you can feel that all through your arms, your hands, your body. You're getting that experience. And if you know any folk songs or pop songs that you can sing with it, you're going to get that vocal involvement also. So, but if you don't, and again, anything else, if you play a violin, a banjo, accordion, whatever you have, because you're getting that auditory stimulation, the tactile stimulation, and the vocal involvement. Well, not of every instrument, violin and stuff you don't, but you're getting the other benefits. And also just the distracting experience of just doing something enjoyable. And if you have people at home, you can make that into a social or family experience too. If you don't play an instrument, go back to the suggestions I had a couple minutes ago. Just turning on music that's pleasurable and that you can experience, and again, make it active. So the rest of this, I'm going to talk about the voice, and I'm going to tell you about a little bit of vocal basics and singing. I am not a voice teacher, so I am not going to tell you anything like musicianship-wise or skill-wise. That's not the purpose of this talk. The purpose is the connection and the touch replacement. So that's the context I'm coming from. But in order to do that, I do have to talk a little bit about the basics. So when you sing, you want to involve your core abdominal muscles. And I think about, it's just like, kind of like if you're doing a sit-up. I think about pushing them out. So take a big deep breath, take them out, and then as you sing out, keep those muscles out as long as you can so that you're controlling your breath as it comes out. And again, with breathing, so you want to keep your body calm, and so it helps with that breath control. It also helps protect your voice from damage if you're singing from down there instead of from your throat. Your vocal cords are in your throat, but you don't want to sing from your throat because that can cause damage. And your voice is really important, so you want to keep it healthy. And again, drink water, and that's going to help your general health as well as keeping your voice healthy. So use your abdominal muscles, use your full voice, sing out. It's not about skill. It's not about what you sound like. It's about what you're doing, because again, it's a vibration, and it's within your body, but it's going to vibrate out to your extremities. You can feel it if you put that might have messed up the time, but if you put your hand in front and you can feel your breath coming up, wash your hands after. You want to keep everybody healthy, but you can feel that. And so you're getting that vibration throughout. They've actually done studies in neonatal intensive care units with babies that don't, due to their fragility, being fragile, and don't get a lot of touch, and they have people sing to them, especially family members and their mothers, and it actually is pretty close to the benefits that they get from being held. So that's why vocal involvement and singing is really important in this touch replacement, connection replacement, and again, it's also really grounding. So it's not about how good of a singer you think you are or are not. It's about using your voice for that benefit that you're getting. There are, if you listen to voice teachers talk or vocalists, you might hear the terms chest voice and head voice. Chest voice is generally for the lower notes, the lower part of your range, and then head voice is what you use for your the higher register. And I think a lot of it is a visualization, and but also when you sing in your lower register, you can feel it in your chest. And so if you are at the point where you're feeling that you need that touch replacement, I recommend singing songs that are in your lower register, not so low that you can't hear the notes, but low enough that you can feel it in your chest when you put your hand on your chest. And the tempo doesn't matter so much, but it might help to just do some long, drawn-out notes, some humming even. And again, use your abdominal muscles. Even just I don't know if you could see in my face the calming that had for me. So especially if you're feeling any kind of anxiety, I really recommend that exercise and involve your hands so that you can feel that. So again, that touch replacement. And I mentioned in the earlier video about how talking to other people out loud is important, not only because you're getting face-to-face interaction, but also because you're using your voice to talk. You're hearing a sound and you're getting those vibrations. So any kind of vocal involvement is important because it gets you in touch with yourself and grounding. And so even if you are not used to singing out loud, you can start with talking. But there's just something about singing that is special, because you're getting that extra musical experience and just music is just very holding, and so it has a structure to it. And so I think that's part of where the calming comes in. So anytime that you can sing, and the beauty of it is that it is with you constantly. Your voice is a part of you. And so you can use it when you're working. You can use it when you're making food. You can use it when you're cleaning. It doesn't take any extra time, and it doesn't take much extra thought. So that is not going to be another item on a to-do list. It's just, oh, I'm feeling a little bit anxious. I haven't sung. I haven't used my voice yet today. Let's do that. So it's easy, and it's part of you. And again, the type of music isn't important. It's the fact that you are engaging with music that's going to make a big difference. And if you need any resources, you can contact me. If you don't know what kind of songs to start with, I can give you some fun suggestions. It's not going to be prescriptive because I am not your therapist, but I am a music therapist, so I can give you some general suggestions and guidelines. But the best type of music to use is the music that you like, because that's going to get you engaged and interacting with it. And that's the important piece of this. So, yeah, use your music, get active with it, participate with it. Quick story, I have gone through some periods of having some downtimes in my life, as we all go through those. And I remember just a few months ago, I was having a period where I was getting upset really easily. I was feeling, when things are annoying you and just feel like growling, but you're keeping it in because you have to be polite. And I could feel those feelings coming up over and over again. And I was getting feelings of stress coming up more easily than, like, I can usually handle more than this, what's happening. And after about a week of this, I realized that I hadn't done any music for myself outside from work. I hadn't sung along to the radio. I hadn't played my guitar at home. I hadn't practiced the piano. I hadn't done these things for a few weeks. And I realized I hadn't because I did. And once I did, I felt just this relief and relaxation come over me. And it was just a really good example of how important it is to have this in your life. So those are my suggestions for using music when you can't be with other people, to have whatever you normally use to keep you calm and involved and connected. And so I hope this was useful, and I'll see you next time. Talk to you later.